Sacred woman I am, with bare feet I walk across the river stones, with water in my blood.
So first of all, thank you for inviting me here today. I'm really honored to share this space with you and to engage in this beautiful, candid conversation. So my name is Djehan Lauwers. I am 45 years old. I'll turn 46 next month. I'm a corporate psychologist. That's actually where my career started as a corporate psych. Whoa, oh, wait a minute. This will be edited, right? Will this be edited? Yeah, it will be.
No, let's keep it as it is.
That's something. My computer is acting up. Wait a minute. Sorry.
Take your time. No worries. Take your time.
Not sure how that happens.
I have an electrician at home as well in the other room working, so I hope you don't hear the noise.
Yeah. So if you're not going to edit it, please let me edit it. I will put it out. Where were we? Yeah, so I've been a change management consultant for multinationals for about 12 years. And my role there was actually to guide women in leadership roles. So younger professionals into higher roles of leadership. And we would focus mostly on their mindset, attitudes, and behavior. Because if you look at men and women in organizations, like you literally just said, like a man who's in leadership would be promoted for it. And when he is crossing boundaries to get what he wants, he gets promoted by the higher leaders. Whereas when a woman would do it and she's somewhere ranging from 34 to 42 years old in that stage of career, she would be excluded by the group, but also by other women, which also happens, right, between the lines. So because women just have this other way of operating and how to deal with power and position and how to even ask questions or how to ask for a promotion, right? You would see a male counterpart much easier say, hey, I've been working overtime and now it's time for this promotion or I'm gone. Whereas what we see a lot with female professionals is that they're more apologetic and they'll wait to be seen.
Okay.
So then their chances pass by. So for a long time, it was my job to coach young female professionals into higher levels of female leadership development. And from that position, I have created female leadership development programs for multinationals. And from then on, I trained myself into NLP. So I'm an NLP master coach and a Himalayan trained yoga teacher. So after working in corporations for about 12 years and very, very closely with highly professional women, I was also in a position that I got to interview a lot of women. So I got to talk to them and really hear what they were dealing with and seeing how these behaviors that come from our subconscious really came into action in this corporate world. And what many of my colleagues told me is that eventually they just wanted to be free.
Yes.
So they wanted to do all these things, make that career, start a family, go on a sabbatical, work on themselves with the ultimate goal of being free. And I was 32 at the time, and I was looking at my own career and thought, if that is the end goal, why would I wait till I became a director or partner myself? Because I could actually do it right now. Yeah. So when I was 32, I left the corporate world and started to package my own knowledge, talents, and skills into my first business. So that was my first cute, nice business in my early 30s. And that was very much revolving around mindfulness and life coaching for women as well. More to find balance in their lives.
Good.
Shall I keep going?
yeah. No, before you, you can keep going, but we are gonna go through the questions as well, and so because I want to ask you something. So you're
and there's some editing, so it's okay, right? When we just stop a bit and
yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
so obviously you work with women, and you have worked with many, many different women, and you see them going through this stage of life. They call it menopause, but menopause is just one day, so it's actually the perimenopause rite of passage they're moving through, and
Yeah.
life is changing, and they want to feel free. And that's what I was saying before, right? Like, we have this inner voice calling us to be free, because when we are in a corporate world, when we are in society has been designed to be very masculine, very direct and very focused, where the divine feminine energy, or the feminine energy herself, is the opposite.
Yes.
So it's chaos, it's freedom, it's not logical, really. So
Yes.
if you see, just to make an example, if you think about the male energy as a straight line, the female energy is like a spiral. So there's nothing like, we can't go like this, we have to go like this, and simply because we like to go deeper.
Yes.
And deeper and deeper. And so when we start the journey, and when perimenopause hits, then we feel that call, that inner voice calling us to journey deeper, even more. So we leave the corporate world, we leave the office, or whatever it is that we're working, or the hospital. It can be different things, but we want to leave society. And this is where I find myself as well. If I look at society, I look at my life, I don't like society. I don't want to be here. I want to be somewhere else. I want to be, I don't know, immersed in nature and do my inner work.
Yeah.
But I am in society.
Yes, we are part of society. And I also have experienced myself, and also amongst a lot of women that I work with, that when they are too much in their masculine energy, they really lose so much life force. And I find that by losing that life force, that sense of the dance of life that runs through us, and when they lose that connection, I can see them really looking for it, like, how do I switch that back on? But it's very hard to reach that when you're in that masculine structure of every day having to perform and having to manage projects and having to, must do these things.
Yeah.
And I find that in recent years, actually, since I left corporate and started entrepreneurship, to be able to do this more fully in my own life, that actually being in feminine energy is way more powerful and gets way more done.
Yeah.
So it really, does make women sicker in a way, right? Of higher stress levels or inflammation. And then it's so sad to see that they beat themselves up over it, while you can switch it on, and this beautiful thing starts to happen.
And the thing is, like, obviously society is male dominant, and that energy is there, and it's built because built by men for men. So we have to kind of, in a way, we have to unlearn that.
Yes.
As women, and focus more on how would I approach this problem in work, for example, from a female perspective, from a goddess perspective, from a woman's perspective, because our energy is different. So, and if you, let's say you are in a circle of, around the table in an office, and you have all these leaders going around, and they're going to focus on an issue, and they're going to focus from their male perspective. And women around the table are going to do the same. So there's no solution, and the solutions that come up are always the same, and things don't work, and society is going down the drain, as we can see it, what's happening.
So I think this is really beautiful, if I may interject. So one of the things, like in the training that we did in the past, which was really based on masculine and feminine values. So it wasn't about sex and gender. It was really about, the core of feminine and masculine values. And through research, it turns out that, the feminine is just more focused on connection.
Yeah.
Right? And when you look at children play, then you'll see that girls will sit in a circle.
Yeah.
And boys will be in that linear positioning. Yeah. You'll see that already at that age. So it's so deep, right? These grooves within ourselves. But what happens at a later age. So when we turn into professionals, then the tendency is still to sit in a circle with the girls while the men are shooting around.
Yeah.
So you'll see that happening in a meeting.
Yeah.
And the mistake that women make, for example, is to continue with the body language that we were used to when we were a girl.
Yeah.
And that would look like this, because if you want to connect and your colleague next to you is presenting something, or maybe they're there and you're looking to connect, then your head will turn to the person. Okay. Now, so the females, the women will start doing this. So now you're very vulnerable in the jungle.
Yeah. Ooh.
And you're looking for connection, which you're not going to get because we're adults now.
Yeah.
And those little body language mistakes actually make whether you make it or break it, whether you get hurt or not. So only by turning your head like this, like I need to hyper focus on this person and therefore I'm not connected to myself, you already lose the game.
Yeah.
So we would also work with women to be very aware of their posture and of these subconscious, body language cues that weaken your position. Whereas, in fact, all you have to do in a meeting is just keep your head straight and listen like the men do, because they will look straight forward and they will just use the ear.
Yeah.
But we go, I need to connect with you.
Yeah. Because we need that connection, that deeper core. Yeah. It's innate in us. And
it's innate in us. Yeah. And once you get aware of it, then you can use different techniques in different situations to make sure that you tackle the situation in an empowered way and in which you don't cross your own boundary.
Yeah. That's the thing as well. Yeah. It's funny because even in my yoga class, I teach yoga in the evening. I have classes throughout the week. And, I have many women. And one of my classes is yoga for women's health. And we talk about our energy and our power. And I remember sometimes I don't know I don't know why I say this. It comes from something within me. I don't know if I heard it somehow, somewhere. I don't know, but it's something that came out while I was teaching one day. And I was telling these women, remember the mountain pose, Tadasana, when we do mountain pose, the way we stand, grounded, looking forward.
Yeah.
So if you do that while you're talking to a colleague, see how they react. See how the energy changes, when they talk to you, because you're there, you're standing, you're grounding yourself, you're strong in your energy and your power, you're becoming that mountain. And so there we'll approach you in a very different way.
Yeah, you're not a rubber band. And as soon as you behave like a rubber band, the whole group will treat you like a rubber band.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with being of service. So a lot of what I see a lot of women do, or which is part of the feminine spectrum, is to serve and make sure that things are nice, that there's good food around, that there's tea. We want to keep the hearth warm, keep the fire warm.
Yeah. We want to take care of everything. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Which is a beautiful thing, right? Yeah. It's awesome. It's one of our powers. We can tend to things. We can create the fire and keep the home cozy.
Yes. As long as, we don't become second place, because that's the problem with women, that they tend to give. And then
so when and one of the mistakes in, for example, in professional working or corporations is that to be liked, they would, for example, ask everyone, shall I get you a cup of tea? But now you are the servant and you're not equal anymore. So these are these behaviors that we need to pull back and control when we are in a group in society.
Yeah. It's fascinating how we women, behave and react,
we think we're creating connections, but actually we're destroying our capacity to be greater.
How would you say, we are different, obviously, from men, that our energy is different. We approach life in a different way. We become mothers, we have to take care of the kids, You know, or if you have pets, we are the ones taking care of the animals, cleaning the litter, you know, these little things, you know.
We walk in nature.
Making sure that everyone has food, you know, and you know that the house is clean quite often. And I've seen men. Obviously, I know there are men that do the same things that women do. Like, for example, in my relationship with my husband, everything is quite balanced because we both work.
Yeah.
So we have to share the chores, you know what I mean? Like I can't do everything, he can't do everything, you know? So we have this balanced energy, but he needs to be in his masculine energy and I need to be in my feminine energy.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah,
because
that's so
relationships
powerful.
and so you know, even work relationship, whatever it is, if I am not in my own energy, my feminine energy, I can't be me. You know, it's just and you know, I guess I need my masculine energy sometimes, and it's a reflection of that energy, and you know, it makes the space comfortable and secure for me to grow. But you know, I need to be in that energy as well, in that feminine energy. And, you know, as I know, I need my masculine to thrive in the business world because masculine is direct, simple, clear, and focused. And so quite often I need that. My feminine energy is all, you know, dancing around and naked in the moon, under the moon, you know, it's just it's very
I know, I
different
love
energy. But, you know, I need to be in that feminine energy because this is who I am, you know, and, you know, and you know, I have a husband who is masculine, you know, so it is that, you know, I need to be in that feminine energy. And even when I'm working and I am in my corporate, I have my corporate hat on and I'm thinking, okay, with my masculine energy, I also feel like, okay, this is too masculine. How do I work from my feminine with this?
Yeah.
You know, so how would you say, like, you know, I know how you work because obviously we work together, but if you wanna help someone that tells you, okay, I'm very feminine and I need to be masculine, but I want to still stay in the feminine energy. That's the energy I want to be in. How do you work with that? You know, what do you do? Like, you know,
So when we think of feminine energy, we're thinking about ease and flow.
Yeah.
And space, right? Space to move, space to be circular, space to breathe and to feel your luscious breasts
And
and
touch
your
ourselves.
all of that. Yeah. So you need to move. So you can't, you know, be chained. That's it doesn't feel good. And we are not we're simply not empowered. We turn into raging raging monsters and half goddesses until we reach our divine again, right? The freedom flow. So what I work on with the women who are in masculine environments or who just feel that they can't really fully bring that out, which is not always possible, right? We would maybe we want to, but in some environments you still have to adapt. You know, sometimes you're having dinner at another family's place and you'll still adapt to the values of this family. That's a beautiful thing. But then we dive into, but what is it that brings you joy? Because joy is connected to that flow. And when you can feel the joy in your body again, then you start to work from that space. So what is it that brings you joy? And often the ladies will say, dance, music.
Yes.
And how can you bring more of that into your life? Well, I think I'll just go dancing after work. Now it's exciting. Now I have something to look forward to. And now it doesn't matter. I can shake it off and do my job, get paid for it, and I'm still dancing.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
And that's how you win.
Yeah, like because I tell this to women as well. You know, obviously I teach yoga. This is what I teach, but and that's the movement I go for. But when I teach my yoga is very feminine, so I adapt. So, you know, even in the little movements, for example, okay, let's do some wrist movements because we were down in, I don't know, downward facing dog, or because we stayed in cat-cow too much, or because you're using your keyboard too much. So let's do some movements, but let's dance with them because we have to connect with the feminine energy. So, you know, my class becomes it is a yoga class, but it's very feminine. It's flowing with the energy of the divine feminine. And it is beautiful because it is, as we were saying before, it is more sensual, and we are that energy.
It is
that
sensual.
powerful, sensual, sexual energy, ecstatic energy that comes up when we connect with the divine feminine, which is beyond sexuality. The
Beyond.
ecstasy of the divine, it's something above, over and above the sexuality, the human sexuality. And we need that, and it's beautiful and it's powerful. And so, I always sometimes I tell them, if someone who works in the corporate world, in an office all day long, and maybe, they are lawyers or teachers, they have to be in a certain way, obviously, because that's structure, that's what they are expected to behave. But I'm going to I'll do something funny. What it is that you like? Would you like to learn to dance the tango?
Yeah, exactly. Because for the feminine, it's about physiology, right? About what's below the neck. So I like to teach my students that intelligence resides from the neck up. So that's the masculine, the brain, the intellect. And our realm is from the neck down. So it's embodied. We need to be embodied to really activate the energy and then hold the energy and see all these beautiful results in our lives, including aging backwards.
Yeah.
Well, that's another gift. It's incredible. It slows down aging. You just stay agile, energized, and all these other aspects. Because it's so sexy and sexual. Of course, it's threatening on one hand. It is a form of sexual energy, but non-performative. So that's even worse because you're like, I'm grounded in my sexuality, and I don't need your approval for that.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah,
but it's very powerful and threatening. So it makes a lot of sense that society or that people who are not comfortable with women in perimenopause who are considered older, who are still sexy, of course, it's wildly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But the good news is we don't care anymore, so it's fine.
That's the thing. That's the beauty of it, and something that I'm trying to talk about a lot with my women is that the beauty of this time is that you learn how to dance with your energy without even if people are watching and you don't give a shit. That
you don't need a partner anymore to dance. Just
it's not that you're dancing with as if no one is watching. You're dancing if millions of people are watching, but you don't care at all.
Exactly. That's it. You don't care. You don't need a partner. You don't need anyone to guide you. You just feel it from the inside out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a very tantric experience that anyone can do, any woman can do really. And it's very, very simple. Sometimes people don't think about these things as tantric exercises. But if you're cleaning your house and you put on your favorite music and you dance while you're cleaning your house half naked, that becomes a sexual, erotic, and powerful feminine tantric experience. And you are embodied and you feel that energy. And then you can bring the beautiful energy, the erotic energy, which is quite powerful, and it can be very, what's the word? It's like, I can't find the word, fertilizer for the soil.
Yes, yes.
For your seeds, you know what I mean?
I agree. Yeah.
Because that's the power of creation.
Absolutely. And I really love how you bring up cleaning the house, because so many people struggle to clean their house because it's a chore.
It's a chore.
You can turn it into something lively, something that makes you dance, something that makes you go, God, I just deserve a clean environment because I'm important. I perform better. I have a clear mind when I do this, and I can do this in a sensual way. That just makes me feel so proud afterwards. And then everything is yours. No one told you to do it. No one took it from you. It's yours. Your house, the cleaning, your sexual energy, doing things that maybe you don't want to do, but turning it into a sensual dance. And to me, that's the divine feminine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Sensual dance through the divine, but also the mundane and the things that we don't want to do. But
I mean, we are dual beings. We're human and divine. So we have to connect with both energies. We can't just be in one or the other. So the key is to actually work. That's why my work as well, it's why people, I work with the energies of the womb. But my company is called the Heart Alchemy Institute. And that's me, why then? Yeah, I am a heart and womb alchemist, but the energy of your heart is your bridge between everything, between
Yes.
inside, your inside world and the outside world, between the upper, the higher consciousness, your lower consciousness, between your physical world and and your energy. So everything comes
Yeah.
here. So when
Yes.
we become that bridge, we embody that energy. We are the bridge between human and divine, and it's done through the energy of the heart. And when
Mhm.
the heart opens and expands and becomes this huge portal, then the womb opens even more.
Yes. Yeah. The opening, the
Yeah.
feminine, the
So
space.
yeah, it's not just about the opening and the grounding of the womb, which is there, it's supporting us fully at this age. Even
Yeah.
if down there, it's a bit like a mess. Sometimes it feels like, what's going on. But because everything is upside down, but it's still there, our womb, our hips,
Yeah.
our pelvic floor, everything there is holding us.
Yeah.
And but when the heart opens and these two connects, heart and womb connect, and then the magic happens. So it's all, for me, it's always starting from the heart and then directing that energy down into the womb, and the expansion happens, and then the energy goes up in the heart, and then it's constant up and down through heart, between a heart and womb. And it's beautiful, and it's something that women should do, especially at this age, should
Mm-hmm.
look at and try to integrate in their work and in their daily life, because it is a
Absolutely.
powerful connection. And
Yeah.
Sacred woman I am, with bare feet I walk across the river stones, with water in my blood and the earth in my bones. I tend a fire in my heart so I am never alone. Sacred woman I am.